George, good to see you up and about. How you feeling?
Never better, nah? No pain, no mafasta while them hunger space eat.
Do I hear a minority? Before we jump into this episode, I have a little confession to make. I skipped an entire chapter of this game. So, to catch everyone up with the evil robot lore, here's the basics of what you missed.
Adios, amigos.
¿Viste? Qué raro, ¿eh? Hay que hacer que no lo vimos. Vámonos ya.
Alright, so it's either one kid or 20. Classic trolley problem, I guess. No, right and turn around.
And I'll blow his brains out.
Just save the 20. Raiden, they're dying. Raiden, please! The children are dying, Raiden! Just break the... No! Turn around! Jesus Christ, Raiden, do something! Don't stab the kid! If you didn't get it from the clip show, the evil group we've been chasing after this whole time is stealing orphans and harvesting their brains to create an army of merciless, obedient child cyborg soldiers. But you got all that from the montage, right? Anyway, Raiden figured out that the brains are being imported to America. How do I know we're in America?
183-104.7, threatening a peace officer. Deadly force is authorized.
Just a hunch. Boris says that he can't help us anymore because we have no legal grounds to take down their company. So with tears in our eyes and a heavy heart, we bid Boris goodbye forever. And he's back! This entire level is pretty straightforward. First you fight the grunts, the flying grunts, the big grunts, tanks, and then the hammer grunts. I gotta hand it to the developers though. Even though the main goal of this stage is literally just walking up to the building down the street, they managed to make it interesting. Interesting enough for me to play, yes. Interesting enough to risk my already cripplingly small audience retention rate, no. I hate this. The one plus side to having such a long walk to the boss fight is that I get to show off my new weapon, Mistral's polearm. Don't ask me how I managed to recreate this baby because one part of the after fight cutscene I didn't show you is that, yeah, this happens.
But now, they will be free!
Still, we did get the Great Doctor the recreated, and it basically replaces our main sword's heavy attack set, except it has much more reach and very different combos that can be unlocked. To be honest though, I kinda just used this move as a click to win button. After being stuck in that last elevator for so long, Raiden gets tired of waiting and decides to do things the fun way. This next part of the level can be a little tricky because the entire section is in the pitch black dark. By using my scanner, I can sneakily make my way around every enemy, but that's really boring, so I just run past as many as I can before they inevitably drop-kick my ass. At this point in the game, Blade Wolf becomes a regular enemy. I just felt like pointing that out because I love games that make you feel much more powerful by introducing weaker versions of previous bosses. Speaking of something I like, Jetstream Sam makes his appearance once again. This time as a hologram. I'm not going to lie, this entire next section is incredibly boring. He basically spends about 5 minutes monologuing about how violent and crazy Raiden is. Reminder, this is the guy who works for the child slave market. In all seriousness though, Raiden believes that he was fighting a just battle because all the soldiers he was fighting had the chance to decline the offer to join the company. However, Sam informs Raiden that all of the soldiers really didn't have much of any choice because it was either this or the abstract horrors of poverty. Between joining the company and fighting, or letting their families die of starvation, there wasn't really much of a choice to begin with. Skill issue, skill issue, skill issue, skill issue, skill issue, skill issue, skill issue. And it becomes a struggle just to survive against two basic grunts. Raiden is barely keeping his own out there. But then I gain control. The entire fight, Just Dream Sam basically says that these people are only going to die because Raiden insists on fighting them, and that he was no better than the child soldiers, and that he's a big meanie, and so on and so forth. I'll get into the philosophy of this argument later, but for now, here's a visual representation of my reaction to this information.
We do not care.
Sadly, Raiden seems much more disturbed by the entire situation, and can barely walk, much less hold a sword. Still, I keep going, crawling past as many guards as I can until I reach the base of the building. 3 guards immediately noticed me though, and although I actually managed to kill a few of them, more just kept coming and coming and... Jesus Christ, how much of this game is a monologue? Alright boys, don't worry, I'm just gonna cut to the interesting parts. Let's go! Listen, this entire situation is a lot for Raiden. He's not really in a good place right now. We should just all be nice to each other and...
Welcome to my utopia of death!
Alright, I got a lot to say about this level and the game as a whole, but luckily this boss fight is long enough that I should be able to get in everything I wanted to say. When I first played this game, it was like 3 in the morning and I was off my meds, so to speak. I was also actually off my meds because I didn't want my cool anime girlfriend to disappear again, but that's besides the point. Playing it back the second time, I only began to realize just how dumb the plot of the game was, but I was able to have fun with it. This is the 3rd time now, and it just makes me mad. I'm not going to go on a rant because this channel is all about having fun, so I'll just summarize my thoughts quickly. My brother in Christ, you committed the war crimes. The entire philosophical debate is saying that Raiden is basically just as bad as the company. The company who involves themselves with child slavery. The whole point is that like, oh, no, you can't fight back against us, that's evil. You're like the serial killer of serial killers. That makes you just as bad. Like, no! The worst crime Raiden has done was wear gray heels with his chrome top. He also killed Syrian children that one time, but hey, I'm from the US, who hasn't? That aside, the main gimmick of the Monsoon fight has to do with his electromagnetism. This enables him to be incredibly agile, jumping away from almost every attack and controlling nearby metals, including his kunai. The first half is fairly straightforward, as it's basically just avoiding his kunai slashes and being careful to block each of his attacks. Once you whittle him down though, After you whittle him down enough though, Monsoon begins to get serious. And he throws literally anything metal he could find at Raiden. Like seriously, dear god, where's he getting so many tanks? Besides the occasional car to the face, the only difference in this phase is that Monsoon can't be hit. Like at all. As long as he has this purple aura around him, almost every attack will just phase through his body. There is literally no reason. I can't repeat this enough. There is literally no reason to be attacking him while he is like this. Like, no reason at all. I said there is no reason to attack him. There are 3 ways to make him vulnerable again. The first is to basically just parry his attacks until he staggers, at which point all I have to do is slap him in the head and he'll fall down. The second is to use these EMP grenades, which are dropped by the tanks that he throws, and you completely dominate him. The third is to downvote all his posts on iFunny until he commits Roblox. I gotta say, the first time I played through this fight, I didn't even know about the EMPs, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't have used them. Just because I'm one of those guys who is so conservative with items and RPGs that I will never use them. Ever. But my second time around, I realized, there is nothing I'm saving these for. I never even used an item a single time in this game. Like, why would they give me a rocket launcher and I not use it? And I gotta say, this is probably one of the easiest use cases for it. It is just kind of needlessly annoying to have to wait for him to get stunned to get out of his unhittable phase, so I would consider the EMPs less of a cheese and more of just like a quality of a life item. Once he gets even lower, he just decides to do the most intelligent thing a video game boss can ever do. he completely goes away. Like, I am not hitting this guy from here. And from the distance, he decides to do this. Now, I swear I saw someone destroy this attack once, but I have never been able to replicate it, and that did not stop me from trying and failing many, many times. Eventually, I just gave up and decided to run away whenever he threw the big wheel at me, but it was a pain. Still, every fight must eventually come to an end, and Monsoon makes one fatal mistake. He steals the Washington Monument and throws it at me. Really slowly. I'm easily able to jump on it, go right up to him, where I could finally hit him for the finishing blow. I jump up to... oh no. That was not supposed to happen. I jump up to him and BAM! Jesus Christ, he's probably not going to be able to dodge that.